Let's get our shiny new button to actually do something. The Kotlin code is responsible for defining the interactive parts of our app, things like what actually happens when you click a button. So I'm going to want to start by adding code there to modify the dice roll when the button is clicked. But first things first, I'm going to need to get a reference to the Kotlin view object for the button. How do we do that? Here is our XML. As I mentioned, the layout inflation process makes a bunch of Kotlin view objects in memory from this XML description. Our inflated view objects are organized in what's known as a view hierarchy tree, which is a tree of views that matches the structure in our layout XML file. It looks like this. In this case, this linear layout is the root of a tree with two children, a text view and a button. The activity gets the reference to this entire view hierarchy tree. So if you want that specific button view, you're going to need to search for it. Now, this is a pretty simple layout, but for a more complex app, the view hierarchy could be very complex and have a lot of different buttons. Therefore, you need a way to uniquely identify the specific button that you're actually interested in. So, in the XML, you can give a unique ID to your view. You can use whatever unique ID you like, but I prefer putting a word about what the view is actually for, followed by an underscore and then the view type. In this case, role_button. Every time we define an ID for a view in the XML file, Android Studio will automatically create an integer constant with that ID's name. It does this in a generated class called R. R stands for resource. This class holds a mapping of all the resources matched to the view IDs that exist in the project. So if you name a view role_button, it'll auto-generate and create an integer constant called role_button in that R class. To get the view object from your activity, you can then use a method called findViewById. You pass in the integer constant representing the ID of the view that you're looking for. And the activity will take the view hierarchy associated with it, search that hierarchy for the view with the ID you specified. Once it finds the view, it will return a reference to the Kotlin view object that we can then use from our activity.